Amanda here, and today we're testing out some new complexion products. These are two fairly pricey items that I picked up during the spring Sephora VIB sale, and I wanted to put them to the test today. Typically, I wouldn't test two new products together, but I have been wearing these for a few days now, and I do feel like they work really well together. These are strange times we're in, so you know, here we are. I am going to show you an application demo. I'll do a little wear test to see how these held up throughout the day. First, let me give you just a little bit of product information. Let's start with this one from Ilia. This is the Super Serum Skin Tint. Try to say that 10 times fast. Super Serum Skin Tint, Super Serum Skin Tint. This product has SPF 40, which is part of the reason I was drawn to it. It also contains niacinamide, squalene, and hyaluronic acid, all things that I like to use in my skincare anyway, so if those can be infused into my makeup, all the better for me. This is pretty darn expensive. It was $46 for this bottle. Of course, I got it on sale. I probably wouldn't have bought this for full price. I did get that 20% off, so that made it a little easier for me to stomach. Here's a little close-up of the packaging. Very plain and simple, to the point, very modern looking. I can't tell if this is plastic or what. It has that soft touch matte, like the outside of a NARS packaging. It feels very sturdy though. This does come in a dropper format, so you unscrew the lid and then you dispense the product that way. This product comes in 18 shades, which doesn't sound great for a foundation, for example, but because this is a tint, it's a lot more forgiving shade-wise because it doesn't have a ton of coverage to it. So I feel like 18 shades is pretty decent for a skin tint. A few more things about this. It does say to shake well before using. You'll see in the demo that I do that. And the sunscreen component in here is zinc oxide. Skin protection and sunscreen is super important, so I wanted to point that out. It says that zinc oxide is the active ingredient right here. Just FYI. Because I'm sure there will be a lot of questions about the kind of sunscreen that's in here. I use the shade Formosa. I'll also be testing out this concealer. It's from Kosas. It's my first ever Kosas product, so pretty excited about this. A lot of people had great things to say about this one. And thank you to my commenters who told me that this runs very yellow, because I did adjust my shade after getting your advice, and I feel like my shade looks pretty darn good. I picked up 01, which I believe is the lightest shade, so just be aware of that. This does run pretty dark and pretty yellow shade-wise. This is the Kosas Revealer Super Creamy and Brightening Concealer. This one comes in 16 shades. Again, not great. I feel like concealer isn't quite as forgiving as something like a skin tint, so I do wish there were some more shades of this. It would be great to see even like 24 or 28 shades, but there are 16, and this one's priced at $28 US. Again, I picked it up during the sale, so I got a nice little chunk off. Here's a look at the box and the outer packaging. I like this little paint splatter vibe they have going on. Pretty standard, flexible, flat doe foot with this concealer. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right, now you have all the details. Let's jump into the application demo, and then I'll show you the wear test afterwards, and we'll wrap up all my thoughts at the end. We're starting off with this Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint, and the first thing we gotta do is shake well before use, so I am shaking as well as I can. And as you already saw, this comes in a little dropper, so I'm just gonna start applying that to the face. It doesn't actually take as much as you would think, even though this is a skin tint. Only one dropper full easily covers my entire face. And I'm going to show you two different applications here. On one side, I'm just going to pat it in using my fingers, and then the other side I'll blend out with a damp sponge. That way you can see the difference, because you are going to get a decent amount more coverage with the finger application method. So I'm going to go ahead and blend the other side with this damp sponge. This one's from e.l.f. Cosmetics, and this is a lot faster. It blends in really quickly with this sponge, but you do lose a little bit of the coverage. So once this is all blended in, I'll show you sort of a side to side comparison so that you can see what it looks like. This is the sponge side. That is some seriously dewy skin. And then this is the finger application side. So you can see there's quite a bit more coverage with the finger blending, but I'm going to go back over with a sponge and sort of touch over that side because I do have to wear this makeup all day. So I kind of want to make both sides match, but I wanted to show you that comparison just for your information. Now it's time to apply the Kosas Revealer Concealer. Here's another little close-up of the applicator. I am using the shade 01, and I'm just going to apply this right under the eyes, all the usual concealer spots. So the center of my nose, center of my forehead. I'm also going to apply a little bit on the sides of my jaw. I tend to lose my coverage there really quickly, and then I'm just using the exact same damp makeup sponge to blend that all in. This stuff blends out super effortlessly. This is an insanely creamy concealer, so it does blend out really quickly and easily, and I love that. The finish is also going to be really dewy and really moisturizing. That's why it works so well with this Ilia skin tint. And here's a close-up of the skin with just these two products applied. I am looking so shiny. I honestly love this look, especially for spring. It's just really fresh. It's really light coverage. It looks very natural. Again, the concealer is not giving a massive amount of coverage, but I do think that's another reason why it works so well in conjunction with this skin tint. They just have that similar finish, similar dewiness, similar light, fresh coverage look, and I'm feeling it. I really love this skin look. So obviously I've finished my makeup now. I did do a little bit of powder just under the eyes, down the center of the nose, and then in the center of the chin and the forehead. Mostly because I was filming today. Didn't want to be super shiny on camera. I do film with a big giant ring light, so I put just a little tiny touch of the MAC Next to Nothing powder on top of those concealed areas, but I did not powder the rest of my face. I did add a really light sweep of bronzer, blush, and highlighter. But again, I didn't want to go heavy on those because I really wanted to see how this makeup underneath would perform throughout the day, and no setting spray on top either. So now you know the deal. I've been wearing this for a little over 6 hours. Let's see how it's held up to these lights, filming, other makeup on top. Let's get in there. Alright, so we saw in the demo that this wasn't a ton of coverage on the face, which obviously it's a skin tint. It's not like a full coverage foundation. So you can still see some little spots and bumps underneath. That's fine. The other makeup layered really beautifully on top. I was afraid that it was going to stay super sticky because I didn't set it with powder, but everything blended nicely on top. I think that the makeup has held up well and didn't really mess up underneath. Didn't really mess up the skin tint. So I'm pretty happy with that. I do feel like I kind of lost some of the evenness, some of the coverage right here. I mean, this is pretty typical for this to happen in this area for me. I was probably on my phone or something. I wish that Kosas concealer had done just a little bit more coverage. I have this really prominent vein under my eye. I've had it my entire life. So I do wish it just did a little bit more to cover that up, but I think it does look really fresh. I stayed looking really dewy, even though I did touch just a little powder on top of there. So I think the under eyes look good. They look fresh because they're a little shiny, so I like that. Again, I might have lost a little coverage right here, but overall I think the face looks really good. I did not get any clumping around the nose, which is a really common problem for me. See how the chin looks. I get dry around the chin a lot. I tend to get a lot of dryness and dry patches around my mouth, and I feel like it looks really good. Not looking flaky, cakey, and gross. Did we get any settling in the forehead lines? maybe a teeny tiny bit, but for how dewy this was and how long I've been wearing it, I don't think it's too bad. It looks pretty good. I've got some shine. I kept a lot of the coverage. All right, I'm happy. Now that you've seen all up in all my pores and wrinkles, I just want to kind of sum up what the wear test showed me. I'm honestly so impressed. I was a little bit nervous when I first started applying that skin tint because it was so dewy. It was honestly like an oil kind of setting on top of my skin, but as I patted it in and especially pressed it in with a little damp makeup sponge, I feel like it just became a second skin. It's not a ton of coverage, it's not supposed to be a ton of coverage, but it definitely makes my skin look really fresh and dewy, and I think it looks really good. I'm happy with how it played with the concealer. The concealer had that same really fresh, dewy look to it. Not quite as much coverage as I would have liked it to have, especially for the under eye. For me, it's not so much darkness or discoloration as it is just this blue vein that I've had poking through forever and ever. I will absolutely be wearing both of these. I think they worked well in conjunction with each other. I will continue to set especially the under eye area and kind of the center of the face because I like to look dewy. I like to look glossy, fresh, plump, and all that good stuff, but I don't want to look like I'm dripping sweat. If you do, then you'll love this. Just don't set it with powder. But for me, I will be setting just the under eye area a little bit. If I had to pick just one of these, I would probably pick the Ilia skin tint. The concealer was nice. I don't think it dethroned my ColourPop Pretty Fresh concealer, which is my all-time favorite. But I do think that this Ilia skin tint is better than the ColourPop Pretty Fresh skin tint. So now's the time when I want to hear what you think about these products. Are you interested in them? Have you tried them? I always love to hear what you guys think about things too, so please leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye! What just happened? Mimosas, anyone? As usual, this has a freaking long name that I can't remember. Let's see, what time is it? Whoa, but it's fine. I mean, veins, you're supposed to have veins. It's good. I'm glad I have veins. Sentences I didn't think I'd be saying today. Huh? What were you even gonna say there? What did that even start to be? No, gosh, this hair driving me crazy. Okay, that's it. That's all I got.